Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the DAV podcast. I'm Brian Buckwalter, and today I'm talking with Jacob Weber. He's our 2023 DAV Scholarship top recipient, a devoted volunteer, and an all-around great guy. In our conversation, he shares his story of how he got into volunteering, how it's shaped the direction of his life, and how it's helped foster a deeper relationship with his grandfather, who's a Vietnam veteran. I hope you find his story inspiring and a great example of the difference one person can make in a community. But before we get into our conversation, I want you to know that we're currently accepting applications for our 2024 DAV scholarships. If you are or you know someone 21 or younger, these scholarships are a great opportunity for you. We award $110,000 every year to students who volunteer for veterans in DAV's name. Visit davscholarships.org for more information and to apply. And now, my conversation with Jacob Weber.
My name is Jacob Weber. I attend Michigan State University. I'm a sophomore. And a passion I do have is giving back to the community. And mainly by that, I would say with veterans. So over the last 6-7 years, I've just been, I have started and I've been continuing a lot of different projects to just kind of promote quality of life for veterans, as well as bring awareness to topics such as veteran suicide and Agent Orange awareness.
So tell me a little bit more about how that started. You said that you've been passionate about it for over the past 6 or 7 years. Where did you get that start with that urge to start volunteering?
I would say the initial urge to start volunteering was very, very heavily influenced by my grandfather, who I'm very close with. He served in Vietnam, and he has Parkinson's due to Agent Orange, and just kind of learning about that. And when I started talking to other people about it, I kind of just assumed, oh, everyone's going to know about this because it's such a big deal for me. But then when other people were kind of yeah, I have no idea what that is, it just kind of upset me because of how detrimental that is. And because my mom also has gotten disabilities through Agent Orange. And so I just really wanted to bring as much awareness as I could and just kind of do what I could to help. So with that, I was able to actually, because my mom was a teacher at a school district, Winchester Elementary School, and she was able to connect me with some of the students there. And I was able to do candy drives and build candy bags. And I was able to name it Treats for Troops. And I was able to go to my local VA hospital, Ann Arbor, just kind of donate then. And just the reception, I just loved it. I loved how it made me feel. Everyone loved the whole put together process. So I just wanted to keep building from there with more projects and continuing ones like Treats for Troops.
Yeah. What made you decide candy and putting together these care packages? Why that?
I don't know. It was just that it was Halloween was right around the corner. I've always loved Halloween. My whole family has. And I just wanted to be able to do something at the times we're just lining up. And I'd also heard of candy drives before. And since it was my first project, I was this is something that will be easy-ish to coordinate. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to kind of do something. And then from that, though, it just kind of it lined up well that I wanted to build a bunch of different seasonal events.
Did you expect the reception and the gratitude that you got from the veterans when you, for instance, the candy, when you brought that in? Did you expect the reception that you got, or were you just hoping to bring a little joy? It sounds like it went deeper, though, than just a piece of candy.
Yeah, I kind of expected them to be oh, this is cool. Here's a piece of candy. Now, it was good talking to you, kid. Now get out of here. But I think to an extent, they just appreciated someone from the younger generation, actually having a vested interest in their problems and kind of starting the new generation to fight for them. Because I genuinely believe the conversation I have and just showing that there is people out there that are trying to do something was even more more than the candy. And that was just the overall feel I got from it. And then just from that one time, I was okay, I want to do this. This is awesome.
That's great. And touching back on the story with your grandfather, what was his reaction like when you first started talking and showing an interest in his military service and his past and his experiences?
So I would say my grandfather was still is a kind of more conserved person, kind of keeps his cards close to his chest, but he absolutely loved it when I was doing stuff to try and help the veterans. He's supported me all the time through it. And he's also asking me, is there anything I can do to help? And like, I'm just kind of like, nah, Grandpa, you can't do it to help. I'm doing it for you. Yeah, he loves it. We talk about it all the time. And it's just great.
How's that affected your relationship, or how has it influenced your relationship with him?
We were always close, but I would say like through talking with the projects and like him getting like a very direct understanding of what I'm doing, it made us even closer. I would say like she's like one of my top 5 friends. It sounds kind of corny, but the grandpa's just a great person, and it meant a lot.
Yeah. And I know that he's seen that relationship with you grow as well. I mean, you've been able to do some pretty cool experiences with him. Tell me about, maybe some of the highlights, 1 or 2 highlights that you've been able to experience with him since you've started these volunteer initiatives.
He has a Purple Heart, so he never had his final helicopter ride away from Vietnam. So when I was a senior in high school, I was able to get 2 Huey helicopter tickets, and we were on the side flying around, and it was just a great experience. Just kind of see him, because at the same age that he was in war that I was at the time, it was just very humbling experience to be in the air with him like that. I'm going to remember that forever.
Yeah, to think about that he was your age when he was there in Vietnam. How has that maybe affected how you've approached what you do with volunteering? I mean, has it had an influence on that, or?
I would say like it was a kind of an encouragement, because initially I was like, oh, a lot of people I would say actually from my generation are like, oh, well, I'm still young. I can still be having fun, which don't get me wrong, you can obviously have fun. But I was like, if people were serving in wars at my age a couple generations back, then there's no reason I couldn't take some time out of my life to try and start up operations and bring awareness to them.
Yeah, what lessons have you learned from volunteering? Life lessons, or just about other people?
It's very easy to do anything to help like lift someone up, especially when it's from someone that they don't really expect. Even the smallest bit of help can go the long way, just not only like physically, but from like just feeling a ton of gratitude for it as well.
How about now? What have you been up to now? I know that you started 6, 7 years ago. You're in college. I mean, you're a full-time college student. You've got intramural sports, you've got classes, you've got football games to go to. Why have you continued, and what are you doing now?
I would just say I'm going to always continue with this because I just love it. It's a part of me now. Like some people, how they just naturally incorporate like going to the gym into their workout. I cut out like an hour a day, make some stockings or whatever projects going on. So actually on the 17th though, I'm planning to, when I go back home, I'm planning to do a drop off at the VA hospital again. But additionally, I've been working on a lot lately, bringing awareness to Agent Orange through ribbons and bracelets. And I'm also started to branch off from that also and bring a lot of awareness to veteran suicide. I've actually recently ordered 500 bracelets to just kind of do a similar thing that I've done with Agent Orange, which is just spread out the bracelets, spread the word as much as I can, because I think that's also a very serious issue.
I remember when we were at DAV's national convention back in August of 2023, you had a table set up and you were handing out the Agent Orange awareness ribbons to all of our members, all of the guests that were at convention. What kind of response did you get from that? I mean, that was a pretty big platform for you to share and talk about that.
The response was great. Like right as the meeting ended, I was outside with the table. So like with how the room was situated, to leave, you had to come across me. So everyone that I could get coming out of there, I was kind of just forcing ribbons and bracelets on them, like give them to as many people as you can, spread the word. I think and some of them might have been humoring me, but I think people appreciated that I was still trying to bring even more awareness to causes like that. And I was able to have a lot of people take it home to their chapters, spread out more ribbons. On Facebook, I saw a lot of people posting the Agent Orange awareness, and it made me feel great, because directly seeing the impact like that is always just the best fuel to keep on volunteering.
I like that. And I don't think anybody was humoring you. You had a crowd of people around you for quite a while taking your photo, and
I appreciate that.
Really, yeah, no, it was a quite the crowd there. I mean, we had close to 3,000 people at that convention. So yeah, you had a pretty big platform. But the reason you were there was to accept DAV's top scholarship award. You received a $30,000 scholarship from DAV to help you with your education, your future goals. And it was because of your volunteering. You were selected, you applied for the scholarship. How has receiving it helped you along your path for your goals?
It's nothing short of life-changing, and I couldn't be more thankful. due to my mom's situation and with her disabilities are only going to be worse because originally when I was born, she hadn't had any of her Agent Orange issues yet. They just kind of developed later on. But my parents originally had a plan where they would be able to pay for school for me. But due to my mom being unable to continue working due to her ailments, and additionally just like needing to take money out that we had saved to like supply medicine and surgeries, I was gonna have a lot of student loans, and now due to the scholarship, I'm not gonna have to worry about student loans. And it's just a great direction to be in life, and I just couldn't be more thankful for it.
That's great. And how has volunteering and the scholarship, how has that influenced your career path, what you're studying, not just your ability to, but what your career goals are?
So right now I'm actually majoring in supply chain management. And with that, I would truly like to continue down with the volunteer work I've been doing, and love to kind of incorporate it into my real world job one day. So I want to make sure, if I do get my supply chain management degree and I'm in a good position, I want to make sure that all hospitals, Fisher houses, and a ton of great establishments that have been here to help our veterans have the proper supplies they need. And that was a very big reason why I wanted to be a supply chain management major.
I want to touch back on the students for a little bit. One of the things that you've done is this isn't done in a vacuum. You haven't done this by yourself. Your family's certainly been involved. You've had a lot of people, but one of the things that has impressed me the most, or has caught my eye the most, was your insistence on fellow students, your friends, to get involved too. Have you been surprised by their response when you come up and ask them, like, hey, I want you to be involved with what I'm doing for veterans? What has that reaction been like, and what has their support been like for you?
To answer that question, I'm just going to say I love my generation, because the help I've received from them has been nothing short of like amazing. And when I ask my friends, they'll make a couple stockings for me when I have supplies. And then additionally, though, that was kind of when I first started asking for help from people, that was kind of what I expected, my friends to do that. But then on top of it, I would like make a post on Facebook or Instagram, and some of my other friends would repost it. And there would just be random people across campus who see it and they're like, hey, I want to get involved in that. That's really cool. So they'll be cash apping me money so I could have more supplies, or they'll come on over to my dorm. We'll bust out a couple stockings, or a couple of treats for troops, whatever it is at the time. But I'd probably say I've had over 15 students throughout just this semester step up to help me at some point, and I couldn't be more grateful for it.
That's great. What's next for you? I mean, you've talked about when you're heading back over the holidays, you've got more. You're starting to expand your awareness campaigns into veteran suicide awareness beyond Agent Orange. Any other ideas, anything else, or staying on that track?
I'm going to kind of stay with the projects I have going, which is, for people that don't know, trees for troops around Halloween, stockings for soldiers around Christmas. In spring, I do cards that care. And then I also do t-shirts for troops as well. And I always try and build on top of different projects I have going while continuing them. So I already talked about this briefly, but I'm really interested right now in bringing a lot of awareness to the Agent Orange, and then additionally to veteran suicide. I don't want to get too deep into that topic because it's dark, but I think we all know how serious that is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, everybody's got a role in that. And I think it's something that we have to be unrelenting towards solving. We can't stop until the veteran suicide rate 0. I mean, 100%. So, absolutely commend you for bringing that awareness to your generation and to others that may not be as closely tied to that issue. As we wrap up here, why should other people consider volunteering? What advice do you have for other students, and why should they get involved?
It will make you feel really, really good about yourself. And also you get to talk to a bunch of great different people for whatever organization you are volunteering for. I highly encourage you to volunteer for our veterans. When I first started my candy drive 7 years ago, like you said, it was just kind of like me doing it in the moment. I could have never imagined it turning it into something this big. So volunteer when you can, if you can. I know you have a couple hours a day if you're playing video games, if you're in my generation. So cut that time in half and just find someone to go help.
Yeah, no, that's great. Any final thoughts?
again, thank you so much to the DAV organization. You guys have changed my life. And thank you to you also, Brian, for being with me throughout this entire process.
Yeah, no, it's been great to get to know you, Jacob. Just following your journey, as you continue to go and do great things. Really appreciate your time. And best of luck as you finish up this semester and head in and finish your sophomore year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's it for this episode of the DAV podcast. If you'd like more information on the $110,000 in DAV scholarships we offer every year, visit davscholarships.org. If you want more information about how to volunteer with DAV, visit volunteerforveterans.org. Like Jacob said, even an hour can make a difference. Thanks again for joining us, and make sure you subscribe to the DAV podcast. We'll catch you next time.